Wow. 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 Welcome back to another Apples with Mark, another Apple review, if you will. Today we have a pretty exciting day. We have four solid contenders, a couple of returning champions, and we're going to see how these apples, in their current condition, stack up to one another. My criteria are going to be the same as previous Apple reviews. We're judging on, the general look of the apple, the texture, the juiciness, the flavor, the tartness. It's a real rubric of data that we need to collect on each of these to come to the conclusion of which one of these particular apples is the best apple. Anyway, we are going to start off today's competition with a classic, the Honey Crisp. We're gonna, go through the motions here. Apple sounds pretty good. Skin looks good. It's not, it's not wrinkly or anything like that. It's looking real nice. Oh, again, we are eating these grandpa style off of the blade of a knife, which is really the only way that an apple should be consumed, in my opinion. But you got to work with what you got sometimes, I guess. All right, so far so good. Like zero bruising or blemishes under the skin. It's looking real tasty. So we're just gonna go and give ourselves a nice slice, get a little bit of skin on there because you want a little bit of skin to flesh ratio to get a really good sense of the apple. Okay. Very good. Flavor solid, not overpowering. Crispiness, it's good. It's not like the crunchiest crispy, but it's really fucking up there. Like, going back in for a second little slices here. That's how good that is. Yeah, flavor profile, phenomenal. Not too sweet, not too tart. Wow, I did not expect Honeycrisp to go this high up on the list today, so I'm going to give this apple a solid 8. This is the kind of apple that you'd want to have on a hot summer's day, just to really cool you off and quench your thirst. This would be like a really nice, a nice summer apple. Also, I think I forgot to mention, all your apples should be refrigerated. That is, again, the best way to eat an apple, is to keep it in the crisper and nice and cold, and then enjoy them as a snack. All right, moving on. We have the Mutsu, or otherwise known as the Crispin. Pretty good apple. Often confused for the Granny Smith, which we have over here, but very different in a lot of ways. So nice and firm, sounds good. Skin looks great. No blemishes, nothing bad there. We're just gonna dig into this bad boy. Looking very crispy. I can feel like the spritz of the juice on my hand as I cut into it. And here we go. Wow. Got ourselves another summer apple here. This is phenomenal. Again, kind of like the Honeycrisp. It has a really good flavor profile, not too strong, so it's not overpowering. The crispiness is there. It's crunchy. It's refreshing. Great summer apple. Again, I know it's like middle of winter, but if it was a hot summer's day, I would be just like the happiest boy. Okay, maybe another solid 8. So, we got 1 8. We got another 8. Got some intense competition so far coming out of the gate of these apples. All right. Moving on. Personal favorite of mine, Macintosh. Macintosh apple honestly gets a bad rap. Some people have classified this as a horse grade apple that is to only be fed to horses. I'm a staunch disagreeer with that conjecture, and it's one of my favorite apples. Love this apple. I will admit, sometimes Macintoshes, they can be real hit or miss. They can be real, too sour, not enough. And it's like any apple. Any apple can be a bit of a dud. And a Macintosh, sometimes it's really hard to find. I will admit, hard to find the perfect Macintosh. But I have a feeling that this one is going to dress to impress. So let's see what we got. Already I can tell firmness is there. It's got a great, nice skin. Sometimes when you cut into an apple, you'll see a lot of bruising, or you'll see like weird little blemishes that just hide under the skin. This thing, perfect. Looking really good. Very crispy. Sounds juicy. And here we go. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, wow, there's a little neat look. It's a little bit of an aftertaste there. This is actually a pretty fucking good Macintosh apple. At first I thought nothing was going on. I gotta go in for another slice to see if that was, first it kind of felt like muted, and then all of a sudden there was this delightful hit of that classic Macintosh. Man, I got some good ass apples today. These are real nice. I am gonna have to give this guy a 7 though, because I know what a Macintosh can do, and it's not quite there. There's some stuff missing. There's a little bit of that sourness that I really like in a Mac. You want it to like kind of like pucker you up a little bit, and it's missing in that department. Good little flavor at the end, but I like a really strong, strong Mac. It's got to be a strong Mac, or it loses points for me. So it's gonna be a 7. So Macintosh coming out strong, but did not surprise me nearly as the other two and give me that like, ooh. Another returning champion, the Granny Smith. Phenomenal apple. One of my favorites. Macintosh and Granny Smith would be my 2 favorite apples. Great sound coming from this apple. Not seeing a whole lot of bruising or blemishing. The skin really tight. I think we're in for quite a treat here. So let's just... And again, Granny Smith is an apple a lot like a Macintosh. They can be real hit or misses. They can sometimes just be super watery, or they can just be nothing but sour and there's no sweetness. They're not by any means a perfect apple. There is no perfect apple. They all have their bad apples, if you will. But that doesn't spoil the bunch. And we're about to see if this Granny Smith holds up in said bunch. Okay. It's not the best Granny Smith I've ever had. However, still delicious. It's got the flavor that you're looking for. It's got the sourness. The crispiness was phenomenal. That's, I'd say, out of texture-wise, if I had to pick any of these apples, this Granny Smith is definitely top in terms of texture. I'm going in for another piece here, guys. It's just, you really gotta get all the notes and really experience the apple. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Wow. It's a tough one. I'm also gonna judge this Granny Smith a little bit tougher because I expect a lot of a Granny Smith. And though that was a very tasty apple, and I would love to eat that with some peanut butter, some caramel sauce on the side, or maybe just on its own, it's definitely not in like the top 10 Granny Smiths that I've had. So I'm gonna give that guy a 7. So we're working our way up here. Now today, I thought it would be interesting for us to have a special guest. This special guest is going to be a little controversial, I imagine, for some people, but it is what it is. This is actually not even, Fox thinks it's controversial as well, hence him stretching out his paws in disdain. The Bartlett pear. We're bringing a pear to Apple Review. Why? No reason. I think it's more just to give a little something extra for folks. We have a beautiful Bartlett. I'm not a huge pear guy, but I do know what I like. I know when I'm tasting a delicious pear. And although this is not ever going to become a review channel for pears, or we're going to really endorse any pears, apples are where we're at here. I will say, just as a little special guest, something to try a little bit different, we're going to be taking a look at the Bartlett. Now, Bartletts have to be firmness is not always something you want to see in a pear. You actually want a softer, squishier kind of texture to the fruit, because sometimes crunch can mean they're not ripened or not all the way there. So we're going to see how this Bartlett is. It's pretty hard. My anticipation is that it's going to be a little underwhelming, but we'll see here in a minute. Not bad. It's tasty. It's tasty. I would eat this whole pear. I would definitely, I mean, I don't know. I have to eat all of these at some point today, but yeah. I've definitely had worse, like, hard Bartlett pears before. This is pretty good. So, I mean, it's not an apple, so it doesn't get a number, unfortunately. Only the apples may be numbered. But I'm just going to say, our special guest today is pretty tasty guy. If you get sick of apples, maybe think about trying out a Bartlett pear sometime. All right, I guess that's it. This has been apple reviews with Mark. Apples with Mark. We're calling it Apples with Mark. It's been Apples with Mark. My buddy Fox here has been my lovely assistant, just inspiring me to, you know, sit here and review apples for you guys. So everyone say hello to Fox, and I will. If you guys have suggestions for apples, if you want to see a particular type of apple get reviewed, send I think there's comments below me. Use those to submit your apple ideas, and maybe if I can find that apple, I'll get a chance to try it out on the next apple review. I think that would be a fun thing for us to do together, for you and me to, you know, to do. So yeah, put a comment and then tell me an apple, and I'll try and eat that apple. Until next time, it's been Apples with Mark. Just remember, keep eating apples. Peace.